Oh, okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I have two beautiful guests. You know, guys, already Caroline. And hello, Caroline.
Hello.
And we have. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Beverley. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's sunny, so I'm good.
We're blessed. Yes, we're truly blessed today.
Yes, and our new guest is Kathy. Hello, Kathy. How are you?
Very well, thank you. It is sunny here as well, South UK. Very lucky.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so we are lucky everywhere we have the sun.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Good,
It's
good.
raining for the past few days here, so actually seeing the sun today is lovely.
Okay, yeah, it's really nice. And today we are going to talk about sun gazing. So that's really interesting. I'm really curious about everything. So we will start. First of all, what is sun gazing? Caroline.
Okay, well, sun gazing is literally sitting in and looking at the sun in its purest and most simplest form. We've always been told by mainstream media and the establishment that sun gazing can damage your retinas and be bad for your eyes to look directly at the sun, but that is in reality incorrect. The sun has a huge amount of benefits for our health in many ways, and it's great to actually go out and stare directly at the sun. If it's too bright, you can do it sort of first thing in the morning or at sunset when the sun is less sort of powerful in the sky in terms of its heat and the radiation. But it has numerous health benefits. So my recommendation would be to everyone, get those sunglasses off, get out in the sun and enjoy getting those light codes into your eyes and on your skin. It sinks in through the skin just as much as the eyes. So it's just a brilliant form of becoming healthy.
Oh,
I'd agree.
Okay.
You can also do it with your eyes closed as well, through the eyelids if you feel like it is too much. Or,
Yes.
Or if your eyes are streaming, while you get used to it, you could do one eye and then the other eye. So the gazing doesn't have to be like direct staring. You can have soft eyes while you do it, while you build up to it.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay, and how does it work? What I mean is, what is the process? Is it like 5 minutes you can do it per day, or
I
can it be longer?
Hours, but not to start with. Literally, it's you can do it for as long or as short amount of time as you want. It's all beneficial for you. For people who are experienced sun gazers, have been doing it for many years, sort of many hours of sun gazing, just literally absorbing those light codes will do no harm whatsoever. But for people who are just starting out, it's probably best to try and do sort of maybe a minute or two, and then build that up to sort of 7 or 10 minutes. And that's probably enough for most people to get them going. Once you get to that point and you can stare directly at the sun without your eyes streaming, as Katie just mentioned, or without sort of blinking too much and start absorbing that energy, then you can expand the time out for longer. But to recommend with, especially in direct sunlight, when it's very hot and high in the sky, I'd recommend just a minute or two.
Yeah, I'd agree, yeah.
In the morning, I like to just be outside and I just close my eyes and feel the sun, and it's different when it's in the morning. Actually, it's really different. You just stay there and let the sun just touch your face. It's really great.
It is, it's warming as well. And I think we're all aware that the sun is there and it's warming, and we like to get out and get suntanned or be out in the sun, especially in the UK when it's cold half the year. It's nice to go out and enjoy it when it's out. But the sun has so many benefits. I mean, it's another common fallacy that if you have white skin, you can get very burnt in the sun. But when you sun gaze with your eyes open, the melatonin that you produce will actually naturally stop you from burning. Your skin will tan, but it won't burn. So sunlight is not damaging. It doesn't cause cancer either. It's the chemicals in the suntan lotions that give us those cancers. So I would also recommend you don't put those on and just using natural organic products rather to get the benefit of the sun. It's hugely important that we break down these sort of lies that we've been told from the mainstream about the sun, so people realize it has huge amounts of health benefits for us, and that we should really be embracing them at every second and every opportunity that we get.
Exactly.
And
well, it's like,
yeah,
it's priming. You look at the sun, and then it's a priming for our body to then get used to the fact that we're going to have some sun. So then it produces the melatonin, which is going to protect our skin cells. So the more that we do it, then the longer we could stay out without burning. Whereas if we're just wearing the sunglasses, then we're not getting that trigger. So we are then more likely going to burn.
Yeah, it's true. And I'd recommend that if you wear glasses or contact lenses, which I do both, to take them out if you can get the chance, or take your glasses off so that the sun is directly hitting the eye, because the sun has light codes in it. It's a form of energy and it can upgrade our DNA. So it's really important to absorb that through the eye and through the skin. And what happens is your skin and your eyes can then uptake the energy of those light codes, and it can actually reset your mecarbic field and also upgrade your DNA, especially at the moment as we go through this solstice with the codes coming in, because we are aligned to the galactic center at the moment of the sun. So the light codes are very, very powerful in terms of our ascension process and the upgrades that we're getting. Sunlight also helps decalcify the pineal gland. It can help you kind of stay in contact with source and get back to your spirituality. So it's another really important reason to be doing sun gazing as we go through ascension, is to help with our pineal gland so that we can prepare the best we can for ascension at the moment. It's not just about having a nice suntan. There is a more spiritual meaning to it as we do it.
And it can improve your eyesight as well. So
yeah, really?
Absolutely. I mean, I've got quite good eyesight anyway. I don't wear glasses or contacts, but my left eye, I wouldn't say is as strong. And what I found when I started sun gazing was I found it quite easy through my right eye, but very challenging through my left, and it would be streaming. So I would switch eyes so that I wasn't like glaring. You know, this was when I was building up. And I only started in February this year, but now I can look the same with both eyes. But I've noticed that my left eye is now much, much stronger. And lots of people I've talked to have said that their vision, they can read better. They don't use their glasses anymore. So, you know, there's lots that can benefit from. And also, I was thinking about it earlier. The sun was out, and as Caroline said, you know, the UK, especially this time of year, we don't get much. So it was like, you know, but even just looking up, we are so conditioned now to be looking down at our phones, down at our screen, and that has detrimental effects on our physical body. And there's a lot of scientific papers where if you look up, your back pain, it can, you know, take away a lot of your back pain, because the nerves from your eyes are sort of connected with your spinal nerves. So even just the act of, you know, like looking up, opening the throat chakra is really, you know, beneficial on a physical level as well as a physiological level.
Especially when you do sun gazing standing up, as Katie says, because you're opening up that, I'm very round shouldered naturally, but as you're opening up that whole chest area and leaning back, especially if you put your arms out or up in this position, you're in joy. That is a naturally joyous stance, and you can't be in a negative mood in that position. This is actually the correct position for the peace sign as well. The Cabal inverted the peace sign, so our hands are always down towards ground, but this is the natural peace sign up to the light, and it's to open you up, to allow you to absorb those energies. So it is really important. And sunlight also grounds you. If you're outside barefoot, that sunlight comes through you, like you become a pillar of light, and you can earth yourself through the ground. So I would also recommend, if you can, sun gazing barefoot, perhaps on a beach or on the earth in your garden, wherever you might be at the time. But that's really important because it allows for that toroidal field to connect right through to Mother Earth. And so you're getting the grounding energies. You're also getting the energies from Earth and the sun. So you've got the central sun within Earth or Terra, and then you've got the galactic sun. And as these codes come down and through you, you become a conduit of light. So in terms of ascension, in terms of upgrading our DNA, that part of it's often overlooked, but it's really, really important as we go through this ascension process.
It's like being like a plant, isn't it? So
yeah.
If I'm sort of, say, walking my dog, or I'm in the park, or I'm in my garden and the sun comes out and I take the shoes off and I've got my bare foot on the ground and I'm looking at the sun, it's like I'm a plant, like I'm part of that natural, you know, environment. And it just makes sense to be connected with earth and sky. And it is a very grounding experience.
Yeah, the sunlight gives us photonic energy, which obviously plants photosynthesize, but photonic energy is energy of electrons in our cells as well. So we're getting that nourishment directly from sunlight. And at the level of skin, I used to run a lot. I don't know if any of you take up running or jogging, but I used to run marathons. And what you find is that when you're running and you've got less clothes on, you're literally creating ATP, which is a adenosine triphosphate, through the skin, and that comes directly from sunlight. Your body has the ability to convert sunlight directly into energy so that you don't need food as nourishment. And as we ascend up through into 5D, that's what will happen more and more. We literally will not need to eat food. We will able to nourish ourselves as beings directly from sunlight. Sunlight is food really for us. It's fuel in the higher dimensions. So again, another spiritual aspect of practical application of sun gazing.
I've certainly found that it is energizing. And obviously the vitamin D, very energizing. And the vitamin D we do absorb through our skin, but predominantly we absorb it through our eyes. So I've only just been learning about how bad sunglasses are for you, but I've always known that if I'm wanting to up my vitamin D levels, to not have the sunglasses on. I did know that, but now I know how detrimental sunglasses are for us. So take them off.
Yeah, you guarantee if the cabal are pushing it as a fashion item that we shouldn't be using it. Like the sunscreens, the big push to use sunscreens. It's all bad. Let's get rid of it all and be back to nature and natural as we should.
Natural.
Yeah.
I would like just to go back, Caroline, because when you mentioned about when you are in the sun, under the sun, you can receive codes. For the people who doesn't know, what that means, if you can maybe explain, you or Katie, what the codes mean, receiving codes.
The sun is light. You feel the warmth of it. We know it has energy to it. Light is energy. Sound is energy. Light and sound are actually parts of the same thing, just at different levels of vibrational resonance. And our bodies also vibrate at a specific level of resonance. The sun has light codes within it that come through, and they literally can hit our bodies as we absorb those sun's rays through our eyes and skin, and they can literally upgrade the cellular structure of our body. At the moment, as we go through ascension, a lot of those codes are very healing for us. They're upgrading our cellular structure. They're enabling us to purge out toxins and other emotions as well from past lives, as well as the current life that we're in. So ancestral trauma is being purged, and all of this is encoded within sunlight at the moment. As crazy as that might sound, it is the reality of where we are. We're being, as I said, hit by the central sun codes from the galactic core as we come into alignment over this winter solstice. And also we get light codes from our Earth, or Terra, as Earth's correct name is, which comes from the central sun. And these codes merge. And when they hit our skin, they're literally upgrading our DNA. So when I'm talking about staring at sunlight to get light codes from source energy, this is what I mean. We are being healed at a very rapid rate now as we go through this ascension process. And this light is almost passing us. So we get a big blast of light, and then we have a break where we can heal and do the sort of relaxing and allow these things to restructure ourselves. And then we get more light and more light and more light as we keep ascending. It's brilliant, really, because it's healing us. It's keeping us in higher vibrations. It's helping us to deal with past traumas that we may have experienced in our lives. And it's allowing us to move back to a central and neutral point of peace and love. And it's enabling us to hold more light, literally, as our cells start to vibrate at these higher levels of light codes as they come in. It means that we can expand our consciousness more, because light and sound are also truth and information. They're all variants of the same thing, just expressed in different ways. And this is really what ascension process is about. It's absorbing these energies, opening our pineal glands and moving back to love by allowing our DNA to upgrade with this information and light codes coming from source.
Okay. Anything that you want to add, Katie?
No, that's amazing. But all just that I'm still learning, but I feel what Caroline has just said is what I feel when I do it. And the first few times I was doing it was like suddenly because I'd heard about it for a long, long time. I'd just never done it. I work in Goa, and I saw many people meditating in the morning and in the sort of afternoon, sunrise, sunset, and they were doing it, but I didn't really sort of understand. Even though I might be on the beach and looking at the sun, it wasn't like I was actively doing that. But once I started doing it in February, it was like I did feel energized, and I did feel lighter, and I did feel like I had downloaded and created more space for more light to come. And I also found, it's like I found my happy place. I was like, well, if I'm ever feeling off, it was so beautiful once I was actually able to do it. And it at the beginning, for me, it was like the sun turned into this crystal, and I'd never seen anything so beautiful. And I was like, wow, I've been missing this. And so it's motivated me to want to do it, because I enjoy it. I feel good, but it looks amazing. And now it's created more colors. And now when I look up at the stars at night, the stars look colorful. And
that's another change in your brain, which you're seeing, which is fantastic there.
Yeah, you are able to see really what it is, the star and the color and everything.
I think it's opened up the perception, like the what we can perceive is what I feel. So they do say that we only perceive 5% of what is actually really out there. Yeah. Now, I don't know what percent I'm now seeing, but I'm definitely seeing more. And even in the photographs that I take, I'm seeing more colors. Everything just looks a little bit brighter, a bit more like rainbow. I'm seeing more orbs as well.
Yeah, so they come through as if you stare at the sun for sort of 5 or 10 minutes, and Katie knows this, it will get larger in your vision, and it almost turns into an eye. The center of the sun will actually go black. That's UV light coming through from 4D, 5D that humans don't have the ability to perceive. And what happens is that becomes an eye, the same as you will see the eye or the ring of fire in meditation when your pineal glands open, and you are able to center and travel through that to the reaches of the universe. But that's a conversation for another day. In terms of sun gazing, there are light codes, as Katie has just beautifully explained, and they are coloured. So you may see yellow light, you will see pink, certainly green, blue, purple at this time, and they can differentiate sort of out from that black centre as literally as an eye would look. And they're very visual at the moment, and you can photograph those light codes. But each of those light codes, when you stare at the sun, your brain goes through an alchemical transformation. And first of all, you'll see what looks like a peacock, which is like a green and a blue pattern imprinted on your retina. That's a sort of stage 1, 2 of our chemical transformation. And as you keep staring at the sun, then your brain will start to see other colors and other patterns. And what that means is that your brain is starting to heal, and it's starting to absorb those light codes in, and they're affecting your chakra system. When you sun gaze and you look away from the sun, you might see a color such as blue or something, and that relates to your chakra, which is a blue chakra, which I think would be here on the throat chakra. And then that is telling you that you need to absorb more of that blue light from the sun to heal that chakra. It's actually showing you what you're deficient in. So when you then stare back at the sun, you can ask the sunlight to give you more of its blue healing energy to help open that chakra. So as you are literally staring at the sun and getting these light codes, you're realigning your whole self and centering yourself, opening up your chakras and preparing yourself to get that 144,000 high energy vibe really working for you, which is what we need to be able to ascend. So sun gazing at the moment in terms of ascension is fairly crucial, and the light codes are just magnificent right now. So the fact that we actually have sun out in the UK in the middle of December is pretty brilliant. So yeah, wonderful.
Yeah. And I think so, probably because I would say 2 years ago, because I wear glasses, but not all the time, just to read and everything. And one day I couldn't wear my glasses. I was able to read without the glasses. So maybe that's also one of the reasons, because I live in a country where the sun is there from, January to December. So probably it has an impact. And I didn't even know about it until, right now. Because now I can read without.
Yeah, sun's a living conscious being. We can only see the sort of sun as a ball of light, but there is much more to the sun beyond the range of our perception. But the sun loves us, and you can ask the sun for help, and the sun will give you the healing that you ask for. Sun is beneficial in that respect. So yeah, absolutely. I'm sure being out in as much sunlight as you get in your country would enable your eyesight to improve dramatically. But Katie, do you want to talk about the black hole sun as well?
Well, I only just saw it for the first time a couple of weeks ago. We have a great teacher called Straight Up Patriot who's been sharing a lot of knowledge with us, and he'd just posted about the black hole sun, and I was like, wow, this sounds fantastic. And then Caroline had shared something that morning. I think you'd seen it and you'd shared this picture, and I then shared that on, and then the next day the sun came out, and I went and I was in my garden, and after about 20 minutes of sun gazing, there it was, my sun turned black, and it was like, wow. And I stayed outside I was in a big onesie because it was freezing, but I stayed outside and I played with it for a couple of hours actually, and it feels quite life-changing actually. It went from this white ball with colours all around it to the colours all around it and just black. And from what I understand now, this is all part of ascension. This is all part of what we need, and it's very powerful. So I am yet to see that again. So maybe this is your subject, Caroline, because I've only seen it the once, but it was beautiful. It felt good.
You saw it in the morning?
It was about 2:00 actually. It was from about 12 till about 2. I was outside.
Okay.
I mean, the sun's quite low at the moment because we're in winter here in the UK. And I have built up to do it. I was doing a little bit of yoga as well while I was doing it, but it was quite quick that it went black. And wow. And then it would go, but I was able to bring it back at will. if that makes sense.
If you stare at it, you will see the center of the sun turn black. It's been like that for many years now. Probably I've been doing sun gazing for about 7 years, and I would say I've probably been seeing it for that period of time. But what happens is that, as I said before, is UV light. That's a 4D sun that you're absorbing light codes from 4D. And they are permeating into you and healing you, which is fantastic. But at this stage, people are also starting to see a 5D sun. And Beverley, you sent me a photo this morning, and that's a 5D sun.
Oh, the white
and
one.
That's the small white sun when it's almost crystalline white, and it has those sort of 4 points. And quite often when you catch it on camera, you'll see the sun's rays coming out in a sort of 4-point star. That is a 5D sun. And the camera will pick up the expression of your quantum consciousness when you take the photo. So Beverley, you must be having a fantastic morning to have taken because you picked up the 5D sun. Mine in photographs, I normally see the black hole sun, so I see a 4D sun, although there have been days when it's so white here that it's blinding almost. And especially back in summer, we had a very hot summer here, sort of 34 degrees outside, and that was a very white sun, but it's gone back to being a black hole one at the moment. So I think Katie and I are still getting the healing through. But yeah, the sun is changing. I don't know if anyone's also noticed, but sort of 15, 20 years ago, the sun was very yellow. And it had the yellow rays, as a child might do a drawing, a sort of traditional drawing of the sun. But the sun no longer looks like that in the sky. It has completely changed beyond all recognition. And that's because we're going through this process of ascension, and it's undeniably different now when you look at the sun. So yeah, my recommendation to everyone is get out and stare at it and enjoy it, enjoy the light, and enjoy the fact that you get to benefit from the healing energies that the sun can give you at the moment.
Do you think also that might have to do with a lot less the chemtrails as well, that we're seeing it for as it really is, that it's whiter and it's sometimes bigger as well? Do you think that is?
I think it helps. I think there's been a big push by the cabal to block out the sun with chemtrails, with these heavier chemicals they've been spraying into our atmosphere for a long time. And now that we know those are being cleared up to beneficial chemicals, I think it's also healing the ground and the plants. And we are seeing the true reality of the sun without this sort of haze over it almost. And the sky is getting very clearer, and that's enabling us to move more towards seeing these 4D, 5D suns. Absolutely.
Yeah. So what I've also found when I've sun gazed is, and I was obviously doing it a lot more over the summer months because we had such a great summer, didn't we?
We